Hello followers, today we are going to see the topic partitioning. It's most important topics in the real-time industry and interview as well. Why we need partitioning? So if your table is growing very fast in with millions of record, it's terabytes of memory, then you can go with partition to improve the performance and easy maintenance and high availability. Why? Because if you're creating the partition, what happen? Oracle optimizer, it's go with partition pruning. What is partition pruning? It's only fetch the data, the required partition. It won't scan entire table. That's the way it's improve the performance. So when you see your tables growing very fast and if you are facing the performance issue, the way you can go with partition, then you can improve the performance. There is one of the performance improvement strategy. Okay. Example, how you decide which partition we have to use it. See, if you know the discrete value, okay, then you can go with list partitioning. Example, the region, based on the region, if you are going to east, west, then you can go with um, list partition. But if you have partitioning with date column, then you can go with range partition. So Q1 on partition, Q2, Q3. But you are not knowing it's the partition, it's not under list or range. It's we are going to segregate based on the memory. Then you can go hash partition. What happened? It will whatever the partition hash key you are giving based on the partition, it will create those many partition based on the memory. Okay. Composite partitions. What happens? Sometimes you want to do it in the multiple, you need multiple partitions. So example, you want to segregate the quarterly wise. In the quarter, you want to divide into region wise. That's the way. If you go composite partition, we can divide it into um, main partition and we can go with sub partition, and inside that you can have the sub partition. Okay, so that's the way you can go nested also. This is a composite partition. Okay, these are the most important topics whenever you ask partition. Okay, when you are planning for partition table, then you have to answer these all questions before creating the partition. And once normal table created and data loaded, you can't directly create a partition table. What you have to do, you have to use my migration strategy. First, you create partitioned table. Then you have to load the data from the old table to the new partition table. Then you can create all the required index here, dropping the index in the old table. Then you can archive the old data. That's the way you can do the migration strategy to create the partition table. Okay. Let's go with few more content. Okay. So interviews, what are the question they will ask? Okay. What is Oracle partition? What is Oracle partitioning device? Large table or index into smaller manageable partition while appearing in the single object. So it's show as single table, but uh, internally it's divided into multiple parts. Okay, that's the partitioning strategy. Okay, example, it will be if we are storing the data for India country, we want to store south own partition, east, north own partition. That's the way we can split it and you can store it. So that's the way we can query only particular partition to improve it. Okay, but it's in the single table. Okay, why partition required? So it's improve the query performance because it's going to read only particular required partition. Manageability, we can drop or truncate only specific partitions. Okay, so maintenance also easy. Okay, so if you are dropping one partition, other partition will be available for the operations. Okay, what is partition pruning? It's accessing only data required partition, not entire table. Okay, range partition. So store the data based on the range value. Okay, so example, sales data partition by month or year. Okay, so based on that range. List, if you have the predefined discrete value, then you can go for list partition. Hash partition, this row you will across the partition using hash function. Okay, hash function we can share with the hash partitioning. Okay, composite partitioning, it's combined two partitioning methods such as the range is hash or range list. Okay, difference between local and global index. So its local index aligned with the table partition. So the maintenance is not required for the local index. Global index, it's span of all partitions. So the maintenance is required for the global partition. Okay. Uh, Max value. So whenever it's go out of the partition, then it's stored in the max value partition. So okay, we don't know the range, then it will go max value other than the partition. Can we drop partition without dropping the table? Yes, Oracle allows to drop the partition without affecting the table structure. Okay. Difference between delete and truncate partition. So delete, what happen? It will delete each partition, but undo redo logs will generate. While doing the truncate partition, it's remove instantly, minimal logging. Okay. What happens when the partition is dropped? The partition, all its data permanently removed and the freed space reclaimed. Okay. So once you drop the partition, it's completely removed and you can reclaim the space. Okay. These are the metadata table. You can see the partition details. Okay. Partition wise joins. So while doing partition wise joins, what happen? It's give best performance because it's directly joining with partition. Okay, that's why it's give better performance. Partition wise joins. Uh, which strategy partition strategy would you use for? Okay, so this is the trick. Okay, say if date, then you can go for range partition. If it's customer by state, list. Okay, data distributed even, then hash partition. If it's having data like date and region, then you can go for composite. Okay, so you can keep it in your mind. Just give, if you want to give the single line answer, how you decide which partition you will use. So okay. Okay, so let's go through this. Okay, just I have some sample script. Okay, so I'm going to create one sample orders table, and I am inserting few records. Okay, so it's for uh, it's normal table. Then I am going to create um, one partition table. So the syntax is very similar. Just we add extra the partition by range, which column we are going to do the partition. Then we have to mention the partition name, value less than this one. So value less than this value, it will be go to this partition. Okay. Q1, it will be value less than this value. 1st April, then it will go to this one. Okay, Q2, it's value less than. So, and other than this max value partition, it will go in the future. Okay, that's the way we can create the partition. So, the top of the table, just we add this syntax for the creating partition. Okay. So just if you, it's a normal select insert only, directly automation, it will insert into required partition based on the values. So no need to give any extra instruction for the insert set. Okay. Partition where we can see user underscore tab underscore partition. This on. Okay, let's see. Okay, I already created the table. So let's I want to show how to. So, see, I created a table. So, see here, in this metadata table, we can see what are the partition, what is the partition name, what is the values in the partition. This all detail, we can see it in the data. Okay. Partition pruning. Example, if we query this partition, it's only query the particular partition, not entire table. So if you see here, so just I am querying this particular partition. See, it's query only particular partition. That's why it's called partition pruning. Okay. Um, Only this partition. That's why this all other partition not queried. That's why it's partition pruning. So list, just partition by list, which is the column. Then we can mention the all partition name with values. Okay. This is the list partition. Okay. Hash partition. Just we mention partition by hash, that which column and how many partition we are going to create it. So just we have to partition that how many, the number we have to mention it. It's a hash partition. Okay, just to directly you can insert and it will insert into hash values. Using hash algorithm, it will insert composite. So what happened? Just first we will do partition by the main partition range. In that we go with sub partition by list. Okay, that's the way we will create composite partition. And this is the first we will create main partition, then we can go with sub partition. That's the way it will work. Okay, so it what happen, it first it will create main partition, then inside that based on the east west or default it will go those values. Okay, so sub partition, this is composite partition. If you want to add new partition in the partition table, we can use this syntax to add the new partition. Okay, drop partition also we can do it using this command. Okay, so truncate, okay, delete, this is the option to delete the particular partition. Okay, truncate partition, this is the syntax, alter table name, truncate partition, the partition name. Okay, we can split. If you want to split any partition, you can use split option, alter table, split partition. We have to give the already existing partition. So where we have to split in this value, you can put the split. This one go to this P2026 and P future. These two partition you can split it into two. Okay, this future you split it into two till 2026 one and remaining go to future. That's the way we can split it. We can merge partition. So if you want to merge Q1 and Q2 into H1, just you can use syntax to merge. So alter table name, merge partition. What are the partition you are going to merge into partition, the merge. So local index, just we have to create keyword create index name. Okay, order this end we have to mention local, then it become a local index. Okay, global index in the end, if you mention the global, then it's global index. Okay, so this is the command to show the partitions. Okay, so indexes, whatever the index you created in the partition, you can see it. So the plan, you can see it using this excellent plan. So already I discussed the interview point of view, what are the questions asked. Okay, so mostly if you have good understanding of the partitioning, to improve the performance for large volume data, it's very easy. Mostly DBA suggest whenever the table is growing fast, they directly suggest the create the partition. Okay, that's what I want to share it. Okay, so that's all I have. Okay, so please subscribe my channel and share your feedback and comments. So I will be creating the videos on Oracle SQL, PLSQL, performance tuning, and interview topics. So very soon I am going to start the PLSQL tutorial. Okay. Please subscribe my channel. Then immediately you will get the notification for the video. Thank you so much.